Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still growing. If you haven't had your compa that let himself go, smash that subscribe button. Go ahead and have him smash it right now. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to the following patrons: Charles, Albert 12, Valentine, Soulstar LA, my Tocayo Hector, Coach Ken, Miguel L, AI Vega, Fio, Claudia, Esquiel, Miguel, Let Our Actions Lead Us to Christ, Big Bad 48, Nova, Jack, Linda, Michigan Wolverines, Marius, Chevelle 66, Gigi, Abuelita's Journey, and Dallas Herrero. If you have not already signed up for that Patreon, make sure you hit that link in the description below. You do not want to be missing out. Also, go over to the homie Righteous Monkeys YouTube channel and show him some love. It's over there pushing that positive message. This episode right here, man, this one is not one that I like to talk about, but I'm doing it to get it out there. And that is the topic of Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day. We're here, right in the middle of it. Sunday. Tomorrow is Memorial Day. You know, the difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day: Veterans Day is for everybody who served in the military. You know, that's when you get the Denny's meal. You thank people for their service. Memorial Day is to remember and honor those that made the ultimate sacrifice. The ones that laid down their life so that others can live. I served in the Army, right? I was a grunt. And I got to deploy to Iraq for 13 months. Before that, you know, you go to basic training. You start meeting people from everywhere else right away. From everywhere, from every state. I mean, even Puerto Rico. Like, you get people from other countries that come. I know Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. I know this, guys. But you get other people that come from all walks of life, and you meet them, right? You start befriending them, but it's more than just a friendship. Right? You're shitting right next to this guy, man. There's no when you go to the restroom in the military, there is no stalls, right? There's no wall stalls next to the shitters in the toilet. You are shoulder to shoulder, literally. So the bonds that you're creating are unmatched. Then you're training to go to war. You're in freezing weather with these guys. They have families. They have parents. They have kids. They have girlfriends. They have wives. Joseph Herndon and Ryan Wood, two guys that I went to basic training with. I think Herndon would eventually go to the 25th ID. This dude was yoked, man. I want you to think of a bodybuilder, right? You look at a magazine of a bodybuilder, that was Herndon. Dude definitely got like top soldier of the freaking basic training, of course, man. Dude was a beast. He did lose weight though. His body shrunk as a result of the diet there and the exercise there. Herndon would eventually go off to get killed in Iraq. He earned like 3 Purple Hearts, and I didn't know that Herndon was killed until I came back from Iraq and I was sitting in a doctor's appointment of some sort. And there was a magazine, an Army Times or an Army, and I see Herndon. As a matter of fact, I made a copy of it. I think I stole that magazine from that waiting area. And it was a article on Herndon, how he was shot by a sniper and killed. And I'm like, whoa, fuck, man. Fuck, not another one. Right, not another one. Ryan Wood. Funny dude from Oklahoma, little white guy. I went to 118 Infantry in Germany. He was across the street down the road to 126 Infantry. His unit was hit bad in Aramia, Baghdad, Iraq. He was killed in action. You know, I landed in Germany December 8, 2002. December 8, man. We are in the barracks. We get to the barracks room at midnight. It is Ellen and Stewart. They were soldiers already at that unit. They had come back from Kosovo. They tell us, hey, put your shit up. At 4 in the morning, we have PT. Mind you, this was midnight, 4 in the morning, right? I'm thinking, like, what the hell is this? That was Ellen. Ellen would eventually go off to, I believe it was the 10th Mountain Division, and get killed in action. Lonnie Allen. Hector Leja, Big Hector. Big Hector was our staff sergeant. We were brand spanking new, me and my best man. Dude was from Texas. Took us under his wing. He was an E6. We were PV nothings, privates, PV ones. You didn't have to do that, man. If I learned leadership, or where I learned leadership from, it was from these dudes, for sure. For sure, these guys. Hector Leja. He was shot in the head by a sniper in Iraq on Haifa Street. And I got that news when I was at the academy to become a CO. It's like these dudes, my friends, my brothers, just kept dying, kept sacrificing, right, themselves. Michael Beckert. I already told you we were new in Germany. Oh, man, I just fucking thought of another one. We were new in Germany. We were standing up. We were standing in a line. Like, imagine they're picking for a sports team, right? You're picking who you want on your team. They were picking for their platoon, for their squad. We were second platoon. They were picking for their squads, for their team. And Beckert looks at King, Jeffrey King, and says, I want the guy with the nose. The dude, my buddy King, he had his nose broken like 9 times, right? He was from Philadelphia. Was always fighting. I remember thinking, man, Beckert's an asshole. But he was a damn good leader. A damn good soldier. Becker was killed in Iraq. And burned alive. King, the guy that he picked, killed himself 2 years ago, 3 years ago, right before Memorial Day. Then we go to Iraq, man. Specialist Edgar Doc Daclon. Our medic. Medics. Do you guys know what a medic is? A medic is somebody that's supposed to take care of somebody in the field when they're hurt, when they're wounded. The reason we got Doc Daclon is because we were training in Germany. There was some other medic that absolutely refused to fire his weapon during a training exercise. My platoon sergeant said, get this guy out of here, for the lack of better words, and I need a new medic. That's when Doc came in. You know, I had bought a big old giant Rambo knife at the PX in Germany, in Graf. I think it was Graf or Hohenfels. Training area in Germany. Big old Rambo knife. It came with a little compass, so I thought it was a bargain. And there I am playing with it, and I cut my hand, like pretty good slice, wide open, in the barracks, in the billets. And that's the first time I talked to Doc. He was Filipino. He was from Torrance. He's like, man, you got to be careful. You got to be careful that he's bandaging me up. After that, it's like, hey, we're friends. We're brothers. You know, there's certain people that you hang out with while you're in the Army, your own little crew, your own little clique. He was one of them. He got killed September 10th, 2004, on my mom's birthday. IED, roadside bomb. You know, one thing I haven't mentioned is that we carried body bags with us. That's pretty morbid. Think about that. We carried body bags in our Humvee with us because we knew what time it was. As a matter of fact, my sergeant, he would always joke and say like, oh, this one's mine. This is the best one. This is mine. And that was his. Ain't nobody gonna argue with that. It's the one he wanted. That's the one he got. He was a sergeant. Sergeant First Class Joselito Villanueva. Filipino from LA. Older guy. He was a platoon sergeant for the 9th Engineers Combat Engineer Platoon, which was our sister platoon in Balad. He was shot in the throat in an ambush. And we were QRF. I arrived to that scene when they were loading a body into the body bag. And I kept telling myself, let that be an Iraqi soldier. Let that be an Iraqi soldier. Because it was kind of at a distance. All I could see was the body getting plopped in there. Then they put it over the radio. You know, Red 7, KIA. And it's like, fuck, man. Fuck. You know, I'm only able to talk about this now in like this because of the treatment that I've sought, the hell I put myself through, survivor's guilt. For the longest time, I wanted to trade places with these guys. Right? I wanted to trade places. Joshua Soto from Hanford, my homie. This dude was wild. This dude was off the charts. Killed in action. Yeah, I carry all these dudes with me. Right, I carry them with me. And that's what Memorial Day is. Like, when I came back, people would tell me, hey, Hector, you know what you signed up for. You know what you signed up for. Like, kind of like an insult. And I'm like, hey, we didn't sign up for that. Like, that wasn't like, hey, I'm going to sign up so that my friends can die. I'm going to sign up so I can die. We were 17, 18, 19, 20. That's not the way that we viewed it. We knew damn well it was a possibility. We accepted that. We welcomed that. As a matter of fact, we would have rather died ourselves than instead have our brother die. That's for a fucking fact. That's for a 100% fact. I saw a little clip yesterday on TikTok. It was the Marine General Kelly. His son was killed in Afghanistan. I believe it was Afghanistan. And he talks about the process of when somebody is killed in combat. He's speaking from experience. His son. What is the process? Well, from my perspective, in the chaos, they get killed. You got to go pick up the remains. You got to put them on a helicopter. They leave. You go back to patrol. Couple days later, maybe 1 or 2 days later, you have a memorial ceremony. In our case, it was on Camp Anaconda. We were on FOB Palo Alto. This one was on Camp Anaconda, the bigger Air Force base. Fuck, man. We were in formation. You got the M16 rifle. You got the helmet. You got the boots. You got the dog tags. You got the flag bearers. You got the bagpipes. And this I did not expect. As we're all in formation, the first sergeant starts doing roll call. He starts doing roll call and he starts naming off soldiers' names. And of course, the ones that are there are going to say, here, first sergeant, present first sergeant. And then he got you Specialist Daclon. Oh, fuck. That oh my God. I'm like, no. Oh, dude, like that right there was like, oh, what the fuck? Like, nobody was prepared for that. Specialist Daclon. Silent. Specialist Edgar Daclon. Quiet. Specialist Edgar Portray Daclon. And then the bagpipes hit. It was like, fuck. Damn, like. And then you get to file out of formation, come around to the front of the rifle, the helmet, the dog tags, and you pay your last respects. You do your final salute. And you have your words with them. And then you go to something what's called a ramp ceremony, where you have one of those big C-130 airplanes with the ramp down. You have a casket draped in an American flag with the remains of your loved one, your brother, your soldier, your warrior, your hero. Right? Because those are the real heroes. And then they carry the casket into the back of the C-130, and then you file in, and again, you pay your last respects. You do your final salute. Then you file out. The ramp closes, and off it'll eventually go, and you go back to doing work, back to patrol. Nothing stopped. Nothing slows down. the internet, the phone lines go off for 72 hours, that is because they don't want nobody to get ahead of themselves and call the family and say, I'm sorry for your loss, when they have not even been notified through the proper channels yet. And the phones were always going down. What did that tell you? The phones were always going down for 72-hour increments. Man, that's what Memorial Day is about. Those guys right there, like, did they go out the way they wanted to go out? I'll tell you what, if they were anything like all of us, which they were, it's like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna sacrifice ourselves for a greater cause. And that's what's haunted me this when I came back, seeing selfish people, and I'm like, man, you guys don't have a clue. You guys don't have a clue as to how high this level goes. This level goes to, I mean, I knew those dudes were it. They're it. They're it. I don't know if I'm gonna make a video tomorrow. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know, right? But I wanted you guys to know that at least. Pay your respects to them. Know them. Remember them. Thousands and thousands. Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria. I mean, let's keep it. All the wars. Memorial Day. World War II, Vietnam. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. This country is the best country. Even through all this ridiculous BS, and it's just ridiculous. It is the best country because of men and women like that. Because of those men and women. And with that, let's keep pushing forward. As always.